Hey everybody, Kunio-kun. You guys know that series, right? I'm not going to blame you if you don't. The Kunio-kun series is like an old school fighting game series. It's been around, I guess you'd say street brawling series. It's been around for a very long time. Very, very long time. I remember playing it on the NES, with River City Ransom. That is what I'm best known the series for. But what we have here is River City Girls Zero. This was interesting because I loaded this up and was like, wow, this, in the description, it says, okay, this is a 16-bit fighter, right? But it's from WayForward. So I was like, WayForward, the company behind a lot of great games, Shantae for one, they're good at doing throwback style games. And I was like, okay, they're going to do a throwback style fighting, street brawling type game, right? But it turns out what they actually did was they've released what was originally a 1994 Super Famicom only game. Like, it was only released in Japan. This never came out in the US until now. This is currently available on Switch right now. Not available on anything else yet. In the spring, it's going to be coming to everything else. PlayStation, Xbox, blah, 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 wherever you play games. But right now, you can only get it on Switch. It's $15. Like I said, originally on the Super Famicom and nowhere else. So if you want to play this right now, get it on the Switch. It was originally released as, and I'm going to butcher this, guys, Kunio Tachi no Banka. I totally butchered that, I know. But like I said, it's part of the Kunio-kun series, part of the, the River City Ransom series, that style of game. So knowing that, just so you guys know when we go into here, I know there's a lot of talking up front for such a simple game here, because we're about to get into a fight here. These guys are like, hey, you're from Niketsu High? How'd you get in here? Oh, now we're going to fight. So, this is the game right here. Do you guys like fighting, like old school fighting games? And I don't mean like, Street Fighter and stuff. I mean like street brawling games. Like, do you like old school, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, stuff like that? Final Fight. Well, this is not that. Maybe it's closer to like TMNT 2, the arcade game. But like, what you see here is you got your main character Kunio that you're playing with, and you can do jump kicks, you can run, you can punch, you can jump, or kick if you want to jump kick. You don't have to, and you can hit other dudes. Oh, and when they're on the ground, we'll see if we can get one here. You can actually stomp on them like that too. And you can block, which I haven't really had the chance to do. But this is quite literally like, it's not a throwback street brawling game. It is a old school street brawling game. Like, it is what it is. Like, wow, that was pretty wild. I wasn't expecting that. So, for better or for worse, like, you're either going to love this because you are a big fan of the Kunio-kun series, or perhaps you haven't played one of these retro style brawlers before. Oh, there we go. That's the first time I've actually grabbed somebody. Another series reminiscent of, I don't know why this didn't come to mind immediately when I was talking about, but Double Dragon. You guys remember the original Double Dragon series? I played a lot of Double Dragon 1 and 2 on NES. But if you are a fan of those, you're going to love this game. If you haven't played one of those before, you may either be surprised by this, or you might actually be completely taken aback by how incredibly simple this game is. Which is what it is. It is a literal walk left to right or right to left fighting game, and what you see is what you get right here, exactly what I'm doing. I've only played about 20 minutes of this game, and I was like, before I knew that this was actually a re-release of a Japanese-only game, Japanese release-only game, I was like, I only played 20 minutes of it. Is that enough to really kind of give a view on? Because so far the 20 minutes has been, in my opinion, a little stale. And that's to be expected when you're playing a game from back then that is just of this genre. You're either going to love it or hate it. And I say that, but I'm kind of in the middle with it. Like, I don't dislike it, I don't hate it, but it's also a game I don't see myself really coming back to a lot. Oh, jeez. This place is just falling apart. But it's got a certain charm to it. Like I said, that's why I say you're going to love it or hate it. Like, you're either going to really, really like the old school sprites and the old school style of gameplay, or you're going to come into this and go like, what is this? It's so simple, for the younger generation who you know, just got done playing Streets of Rage 4 on newer consoles with like really nice art and lots of special moves and lots of crazy enemies and stuff like that, this may not be enough for you. You may be looking at this like, yeah, it's cool. It's an interesting throwback, but like it can't add up to like all the special effects and cool art and everything like that. Me personally, I like an old school sprite-based, you know, style game. I'm not, not opposed to that at all. I love retro games, but I could definitely see people not being into this, because as you can see, the past 2 floors of this that we played... Oh, can we not leave yet? Is there somebody else left? You can see the first 2 floors of combat and everything have been exactly the same. Here's one of these guys. Let's take him out. But yeah, as I was saying, though, I was like, is 20 minutes enough time to really show this game off? And looking up long plays of the original Japanese game... Oh, I was sitting on that guy. I didn't know that I could do that. Let's see if we can do that again. Oh, I gotta hit the punch button. Okay, let's try it again. Oh, he's done. So the moves seem to be a little random. I do remember in Double Dragon being able to walk onto 2 dudes and grab them and throw them around and stuff like that. But the game itself, like on a long play on YouTube I saw, was about like just under 2 hours. If you're playing 2 players, which you can do in this game too if you want to play it with a friend, or a family member, whatever. You want to just kick ass with your brother or sister, if that's what you want to do. You can do that. It's going to be much quicker for what I can tell. It's like, it looks like it was like 45 minutes for 2 players to kind of like wreak havoc and get through the game. So it might take you only like an hour. So for $15, a re-release, like kind of a part of gaming history that was never released in the US, it's pretty cool. For some of you, I think you're going to want to wait for a sale. And it's tough too, right? Because with the release of this, I think it's really cool that they put this out and it's available for other people to play, especially with the advent, the release of River City Girls that came out in 2019. Because River City Girls in 2019, even that has a lot more to it than this game does, and it's actually a really good game. It's got great art, it's got a lot of moves, it's got like fun, silly story. It feels a lot more like in the vein of like a Scott Pilgrim type of story, a Scott Pilgrim influenced kind of fighting game, and I know a lot of people like that game. Where this game is kind of like, it definitely feels more old school. I mean, look at this, not just the graphics itself, the graphics itself, or the graphics themselves. I guess that would be plural, wouldn't it? But, oh, punch him, there we go. I was able to punch him like once in the face there. But you can tell, like, just the way with the graphics are styled and everything. I mean, this feels like an old, dingy factory from the 1990s, doesn't it? It looks like somewhere they would have filmed back then when they were, filming some kind of kung fu or movie, kung fu or fighting movie or a revenge movie, something like that, Definitely has that look and feel to it. So there's the other River City girl. And that's the other thing, too, that I didn't know. I did not know that the River City Girls series actually started with, the different girls like that were from an original, an original game that came out prior to the 2019 game. I never knew that, which was actually kind of interesting to learn. Never dug too deep into it. I was just like, oh, this is kind of like a more female protagonist fighting game. I was like, this is kind of cool, but I could never go out with you. Okay, so for some reason, what's going on with the story in this game is that the 2 main characters, Kunio and Ricky, I think their names are, they were thrown in jail for like some kind of hit and run thing. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with that. But they ended up being thrown in jail for a couple days. And apparently Kunio and Ricky are the king badasses of their schools or something. And their schools have been taken over since they were kicked out, since they were arrested. So some other guys took over. So we've already got back our first school, took out the guy that was there. We are now at the second school, Ricky's school. He's looking for his girlfriend and, the other River City girl, and he's looking to take the school back as well. Kunio, Ricky. So this is how the story is told. Like I said, it's very old school. Everything is through text. It's got the old Final Fantasy like text prompt on the bottom there. I think people are really gonna like that if that brings you back to old school RPGs and whatnot. But yeah, you know, I hate to say it, you know, but the gameplay itself is it's very one-dimensional. And like I said, you're either gonna love this or you're not gonna be into it at all. It's really all there is to it. Oh geez, oh my god. This whole building's going down. Though I will say I like the added effect of the building going down, because that was not something that happened in any previous level, that's for sure. I just wonder, is it going to keep crumbling? Time to jump! There we go. It's actually taking them out for me. You'll notice that the bosses, too, they actually flash. Oh, it still got me. I didn't time it right. They actually flash when they get up there. The regular enemies don't. You can just keep hitting them when they get up and everything. The bosses flash. Oh, I got hit again. Gives them some kind of invulnerability there when they're getting up, which you also get, which is nice. I'm gonna get hit again here. Good choice. So I was kind of locked in place there. One of the other things I would have really liked to see is like some kind of a health bar above the enemies as well. Like, I know it's an old game. I would have really liked to see that. I don't know if this was in the old game either, but when you die, and you will die, because sometimes you got to run through tons of enemies, and the fighting is just like kind of stilted. You know, it's very NES fighting game feeling. You're gonna die. I definitely died once already. Died again. But at least when you come back up here to do the fight, they start you at the boss battle, which I appreciate. You don't have to fight through all that crap again. The first time I died, I was like, oh, this is a game from '94. It's going to start me, like, all the way back at the beginning, isn't it? Ooh. But it didn't, so I was very happy about that. There we go, take him out. Jump! Oh, there we go. Trying to time that right. So yeah, this game really takes me back to like sitting on my floor as a kid playing Double Dragon and also playing Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the arcade game. Turtles, because, you know, that game was all about like timing your jump kicks. Like, you used your jump kicks a lot in that game. Oh. Jump. There we go. Give him a little stomp just for good measure. In this game, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're kind of just timing your jumps to jump kick everybody perfectly all the time. Doesn't feel like you really have full control over the fighting and the situation a lot of the time. Jump! And that's a little annoying, you know, and that's just like part of the old school appeal, is that like it feels kind of stiff. You gotta like kind of line yourself up correctly each time, and sometimes it's the other thing too, is you're not even sure sometimes if your character's lined up right to do your jump kicks and stuff. You do have other abilities. You can punch. I have not found the punch to be like super helpful, to be honest. But you can also punch behind you or kick behind you if you need to, which again I have not found to be super helpful. Oh jeez, this guy is kicking my ass, man. That was a nice double right there. Oh! I can't believe they didn't take me out right there. See, right there, I was like, am I lined up with him? Why am I not hitting him? There we go. Go. Oh! He just, like tornado fisted me there. There we go. That's a good kick. Take out that guy. But this is where I would have really liked to see a health bar on the boss or whatever, because look at him. I mean, the guy is still coming at me. Stomp. There we go. And I have no idea how much more health he's got. The only way you know somebody dies is if you hit them and they go, oh, and they're done. So now I just gotta kind of keep doing this like tireless, not tireless, but this tiring thing where like I keep kind of going back, getting a vantage point, and then hitting a jump kick. And as you can see, sometimes it doesn't work either. from what I could tell, there's been, like, no special moves, really, to use, which is why I keep saying, like, it feels old school. There we go, we got a little bit there. And if there are special moves, I haven't figured them out. The only thing I figured out is, like, when they're down on the ground, you could do certain things. You know, you could get on them and punch them and stuff. There we go, he's done. And that's what the fighting is like in this. Like I said, you're either going to like that or you're not going to like that. Like, going back and forth, jump kicking and stuff, to me, feels very archaic at this point. So, I don't know, man. This is kind of a mediocre thing for me. And I really want to like this a lot more than I do, to be quite honest, because of that. But what are you going to do? Please stop hitting me. I'm sorry, I was wrong. What a wimp. What happened to Mr. Handsome Tough Guy? Yeesh. You really thought you could replace me, Ryuta? Is that how you say it? It wasn't my idea. Shinji from the motor... It's always somebody else, right? The motorcycle gang Blue Emperor told me to wreck the school. Shinji? That's the other thing I did see. I did see a screenshot for this game that there are motorcycle levels, I guess, which I would have liked to see already. It would have been nice if they started you out with that, or did that with the second level or something like that. So far, like I said, I've been playing 35, 40 minutes now with the, this video included, and I'm at the point where I'm like, oh, this is all I've done is just, like, go side to side and fight. And this would have been enough for me at, how old would I have been back then? Like 10, 11 years old? Would have been enough for me back then. Nowadays, I don't know, man. I like that she sticks in and gives him a good kick right there. That's how you know the River City Girls kick ass, man. But for those of you who are River City Girls fans, big fans of the 2019 release, you can be happy to know that even if this doesn't do much for you in the series, at least they are going to be coming out with River City Girls 2 sometime in the not-too-distant future. I think it was this year. Maybe it's next year. But they are coming out with a new one. So if you're a big fan of that, then you have that to look forward to, which I think is great. So we got Kyoko, Ricky's girlfriend. We now have all four back together. And it's interesting. This is, River City Girls. Oh, whoa, we're thrown right back into it. River City Girls was all about you getting your boyfriends back. It was a role reversal thing. So you can see, like, this is where it all started. The guys are the main... Oh, punch him. There we go. There we go. We got a good punch here. Nice. Only some of the characters you can sit down on and do this, though. That's interesting. Wow, that's a nice, easy way to take them out, I'll tell you that. But yeah, in this one, you're playing as the guys saving the girls, getting them back. In the newer ones, you're playing as the girls getting the guys back. So it's kind of a fun, role reversal thing that they're doing. I kind of like that they're going back and forth. And it makes sense that with the Kunio gang here, they're always getting into, like, mischief or getting into some crazy crap, Oh, there we go. There's a good grab. Take him out. Sit down. Boom. The other thing that's interesting about this game, too, is there's, like, no collectibles to be found. Like, like we were talking about Ninja Turtles arcade game, right? And in regards to that game, at least you had collectibles like pizza and stuff like that. And this, like, it doesn't seem like there's, like, much of a way to get your health back. Okay, that was cool, being able to throw the guy. Throw him again. And there's no weapons. River City Ransom had weapons, and that was an NES game. So this, I just feel like it's so plain Jane. Like, I just feel like there's, like, not much going on, But hey, this is available on Switch right now. I think you guys have kind of seen enough of it. I think you kind of get the point here. We're now at a Ferris wheel, which is kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, $50 on the Switch now. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. It's a literal old school release game, retro game that is being released today. So, like, in the history aspect, I think it's super cool, but game-wise, it's just, it's okay, I don't think it's going to win any awards with people out there. But for the hardcore fans of Kunio-kun, I think you're going to be really, really ecstatic that this is available now. But hey, guys, I just want to say thanks for watching, and of course, I'll see you all in the next one.